In the 1940s through the early 70s, the Western movie experienced a surge of popularity. The so-called spaghetti westerns, popularized by films like Sergio Leone's A Fistful of Dollars and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, took the Western to unprecedented heights. In Westerns, you have the lone wolf protagonist, typically a rugged cowboy or sheriff, whose sole duty is to put bad guys in the ground or behind bars. And of course, every Western needs their loyal steed and trusty firearm. Lastly, any Wild West hero has to have someone to save. And in Westerns, that person typically is some kind of doll-eyed girl with a tragic past. Either that or she's a dazzling brothel worker with a heart of gold and an excellent shot. Now, we could argue about whether or not the portrayal of women in Westerns has been historically problematic, but that's the topic for an entirely different video. Join Factsverse as we take a look back at some of the most beautiful, seductive, sexy, and sultry women from classic Western films. Barbara Stanwyck. Throughout her 6-decade acting career, Stanwyck appeared in pictures covering just about every conceivable film genre. She shined in comedies like The Lady Eve and Ball of Fur, and was the archetypal noir beauty in flicks like 1944's Double Indemnity and 1946's The Strange Love of Martha Ivers. But her best-known roles, which proved to be the bread and butter of her career, were in Westerns. She appeared in dozens of classics under the direction of a wide array of esteemed directors like Fritz Lang, Frank Capra, and Cecil B. DeMille. She made 85 films in the 38 years before she turned to television. She was not only drop-dead gorgeous, but also tough as nails. When she pointed a gun at someone, you knew she meant business. Beyond that, she could ride a horse like nobody's business. In 1935, Barbara starred in the George Stevens-directed Western Annie Oakley, a romanticized biography about a legendary sharpshooter. 4 years later, she appeared in Cecil B. DeMille's acclaimed Western Union Pacific. She won a Palme d'Or Award at the Cannes Film Festival for that performance. In 1941, she shared the screen with Joel McCrea and Brian Donlevy in The Great Man's Lady, a film about an elderly pioneer woman who tells her tale through a series of flashbacks. A few of her other most noteworthy Western credits include 1947's California, 1950's The Furies, and 1953's The Moonlighter. Katherine Ross. Born in 1940, this LA native joined the Screen Actors Guild after attending Santa Rosa Junior College for a year. She got her start acting appearing in theatrical stage productions and made her film debut in the 1965 Civil War-themed drama Shenandoah. In 1969, Ross played the female lead, Etta Place, in one of the most influential westerns of all time, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That same year, she starred in the western Tell Them Willie Boy Is Here. The film was based on the true story of a Chemehuevi Paiute Native American boy, Willie Boy, who has a run-in with the law in Banning, California in 1909. Both of these films earned Ross a BAFTA Award for Best Actress. Ross went on to appear in films like The Stepford Wives and Richard Kelly's cult classic science fiction film Donnie Darko. Most recently, she's made appearances in films like 2017's The Hero and 2019's Attachments. She's now 82 years old and has since retired from acting. Before we tell you more about Western beauties, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Amanda Blake. Born February 20th, 1929, Blake discovered she was interested in acting while she was attending Pomona College in Claremont, California. After throwing herself into her craft and participating in community theater productions, she went on to do summer stock theater in New England. Eventually, she made her way to Hollywood, where she was discovered by MGM. She made her film debut in 1950's Stars in My Crown and proceeded to appear in more than a dozen films and TV shows in the early 50s. Her big break came when she landed the role of Miss Kitty Russell, the proprietor of the Long Branch Saloon, in the 1955 Western series Gunsmoke. She would hold on to that role for the next 19 years. Between 1955 and 74, Blake made very few films, but she made numerous appearances on TV shows like The Red Skelton Show, Tattletales, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and The Love Boat. In 1987, just 2 years before her death, she reprised her role as Kitty Russell in the TV film Gunsmoke: Return to Dodge City. Blake died of liver failure caused by viral hepatitis on August 16, 1989. Katy Jurado. Born in 1924, Jurado was best known for playing Helen Ramirez in the classic western High Noon. When she was cast in this role, she was already a well-known actress in Mexico who'd appeared in numerous films in what was known as the Golden Age of Mexican cinema. High Noon was Jurado's second Hollywood film. At the time, it was rare for a Hollywood movie to include a Latina actress, especially one who would play a fully developed character integral to the film's plot. Ramirez was not only a crucial member of the High Noon cast, she was also a successful independent businesswoman. Jurado made history when she became the first Latin American actress to be nominated for an Academy Award for her performance in 1954's Broken Lance. In addition to High Noon, she was also known for her roles in films like Veracruz, El Bruto, One-Eyed Jacks, and Nosotros los Pobres. She passed away in 2002 at age 78. Claudia Cardinale. This Italian actress, born in 1938, starred in several critically acclaimed European films in the 60s and 70s. She was born in La Goulette, a neighborhood in Tunis. In 1957, she won the Most Beautiful Girl in Tunisia competition. She soon landed a film contract with the help of her mentor and eventual husband, Franco Cristaldi. While she's famous for her roles in films like Fellini's 8½, and The Leopard, Cardinale's biggest Western film was Sergio Leone's 1968 epic spaghetti Western, Once Upon a Time in the West. Cardinale is now 84, but she's yet to retire from acting. According to IMDb, she has 128 credits to her name. Most recently, she's appeared in films like Rogue City and Nana's on the Run. Her film, The Island of Forgiveness, is currently in post-production and expected to hit theaters in 2022. Jane Russell. Born in 1921, Russell was known for being one of the most prominent sex symbols in Hollywood in the 1940s and 50s. She grew up in the Midwest, but after she moved to California, she was given her first film role in Howard Hughes' 1943 Western, The Outlaw. During production, Hughes became obsessed with Russell's bust, even going as far as to design a custom-made brassiere to seamlessly accentuate her curves. Some have even claimed Hughes' creation was an early prototype of the push-up bra. Russell, however, wasn't pleased with the eccentric director's invention and apparently threw it across her trailer and instead padded her regular bra to create the same seamless effect Howard was going for. After The Outlaw, Russell shifted her focus to music. She returned to film in the 1950s, most notably starring in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, but afterwards she once again returned to music. In the 60s, she made several more film appearances before transitioning into television. Russell spent the remainder of her days living in the Santa Maria Valley along California's Central Coast before dying of a respiratory illness February 28, 2011. Raquel Welch. Born in 1940, Welch first gained attention for her role in the 1966 science fiction film Fantastic Voyage. She then won a contract with 20th Century Fox. Later that year, she appeared in the cult classic 1,000,000 Years BC. Even though she only had a few lines of dialogue in the movie, images of her donning a doe-skin bikini ended up becoming some of the best-selling posters of the period. Because of that, she was transformed into an international sex symbol. In 1968, she appeared in the Andrew V. McLaughlin Western Bandolero. The following year, she starred alongside Burt Reynolds and Jim Brown in the Tom Gries-directed Western 100 Rifles. Her last major Western was 1971's Hannie Calder. In 1995, Empire magazine named Welch one of the 100 sexiest stars in film history. Likewise, Men's Health ranked her number 2 in its list of the hottest women of all time in 2011. At 81, Welch is still active in Hollywood. Most recently, she appeared in the 2017 film How to Be a Latin Lover. Now it's time to hear from you. Which one of these ladies is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.